Justin Bland.
Just to bling. I am a connector of people. I am a lover. I build everything I do off of love. I think that's why um, the success that come with it comes natural because I literally do everything intentionally and build it off of love.
I've known him for a good like 15 years maybe. Maybe had a job I hated. We was gonna be in, but they're like the best thing ever since. He had this dream of doing the improv. I was like, I want to do improv class. I want to do this. I was like, that's tight, man. But then like to see it like just build up to what it is now, crazy. Nothing but amazing. So I think that's my people all the time. Absolutely.
I'm from the Far East Side, and growing up on the Far East Side, it was honestly, it was one of the best things ever. For the simple fact that we grew up poor, but my parents hid that from us. Like, so we'd never seen, like, as far as a struggle. When I got older, I realized that, oh, we were struggling, or, oh, that meal that we had, that was a struggle meal. But my parents were just so dope that, like I said, they kind of sheltered us from the struggle. My parents, man, they were our guidance source. Like when we first grew up, we didn't have a basketball court, so we'd create games like Rebound Arena. And it sounds funny saying in hand, but it's basically you throwing the ball on top of the roof and the other person got to catch it. It's crazy, but you create these games, you create a lot of these things when you don't have, so it just fills the void of that lack. So my childhood was amazing. Growing up, I was always the class clown. I was always the funny one in the family. I was always the one that was entertaining everybody in the family. So I would say it started like way back when. I'm talking about when I was young. I understood comedy at a way that like a youngster normally wouldn't.
See, our first guest, we have a thug. He thinks he's a thug. Come on out.
I will say that growing up, I watched Wild 'N Out. I watched Whose Line Is It Anyway? I watched all that. I watched SNL. I watched all these things. And I think people are afraid to admit that, you know, what they were inspired by. It's just like, why? Like nothing new is under the sun. I didn't create improv, but I created my own lane in improv. When I went to Arlington, they had an art program. And I was like, oh, I have to sign up for this. I want to do plays and things like that. They was like, oh, boy, you tripping. Like, we ain't had no play in years. 07 or 08, that was the first year they brought plays back to Arlington. And we were just rocking from there. And then from there, I was like, this is something that I want to pursue, but I just didn't know how to do it. So and then they hit me up later basically saying I scored too low. I scored too low to be in the theater program. So I went to music audio recording. And from there, I found my passion. As far as just like music, I always liked music. Like I started to develop a passion for film, and right after that, 2013, Charles Surratt, he was like, "Man, before you graduate, I want you to leave your mark on the campus, and I want you to do something. I want you to have a play." And immediately, I was just like, I don't want to have no play. Like plays, you got rehearsals, you got to deal with people, you have different attitudes of different people, and I was just like, I don't want to have to write a play and then have rehearsals for it just to put on. I was like, I don't want to do that. So he was like, so what would you like to do? And I was just like, I want to have a variety show. And he was like, what does that look like? I pitched him an idea, and he looked at me like, I don't fully understand it or see your vision. However, whatever you need from me, we're going to make it happen. And literally, the Jay Blend Made Man show came out of that. So doing an improv show is super easy, and it's fun because it's just my passion.
Y'all make some noise for the girl squad led by team captain Jasmine, the action!
How can we incorporate other talents or other aspects of this show to where everybody can shine? And that was my biggest challenge. But as far as creating a show, it's just like, first of all, I kind of come up with a format of, do we want a theme for this? We've had a variety of different theme shows, but the premise or the foundation of it is all improv. So honestly, I come up with the improv games, and these are games that I've acquired over the years of being in improv groups. And a lot of the games that we do today came straight from when I was in the theater program in Arlington. Whatever we go out there and do, the audience, they not here to pick us apart. They literally here to come vibe out with their family. When somebody said this to me, they said, bro, your shows are ratchet and righteous. And I was so offended at first. And they was just like, nah, it's a good thing. Like, your show is a balance of ratchetness and righteousness, because you always hitting us with a message. You always putting some substance in it. But at the same time, you let us have fun and you let us, we might play Yo Gotti, you might get on the stage and jig. Creating that culture, getting back to the elements of what Blackness once stood for. I think I love the fact that my event is like that. I love the fact that the Made Man show and the Made Man culture is that. Creating this exclusively, for Black people and the Black audience is just something that I can be proud of and say, if different races come and they enjoy it, perfect. I love that. But this was created with the mindset that it's so many other people from the Far East Side who gave up their dreams. And if they see this, if I can just give them a little bit of motivation, inspiration, encouragement, then that's what we locked in on. It is a privilege to have y'all here, but I want everybody to understand that it's a privilege to be on this platform, not just because it's Made Man, because a lot of people don't have this outlet. A lot of people don't have this platform to do these things. So when we go out there, let's just be happy. Let's keep our energy up and make sure you repping your team. Make sure this is Battle of the Sexes. This is our most popular show. Don't get caught up who's in the crowd, who's not. Let's just lock in and let's just do our part. Once I get testimonies back from the show, and I do mean testimony, when I get those testimonies back at the show, it's just like, dang, this is much bigger than what I even planned it to be. I'm thinking like, I can come back to the city, have my improv show, make people laugh, make a little money, and go on about my day. But then you hear stories like people had suicidal thoughts and then they come to the show and we would just a beam of light and hope and gave them a reason to live. Or you have somebody, a young lady who's sit in the very back and she say, I was raped in college and I didn't trust men and I always sit in the back because I want to see everything in front of me. And then several shows later, you see her in the third row and you ask her about it. She's like, I come to your shows now and I feel like this is the only place where I feel protected by men. And it's just like, man, this is way bigger than just laughs and giggles. I know a lot of times people tell me laughter is healing, laughter is medicine. So for me, it was just like, man, this is way bigger than I ever could have imagined. This is a task that, the stuff that come with it is a task that I didn't ask for. If I'm here to serve people, like everything has to stop. We have to make sure you good. And I feel like stuff like that, you don't want no praise for it because it's something that you're supposed to do. Like, we all humans, we here together. So how you make people feel, how your art make people feel, and you would just see it in their eyes.
What I've been doing lately.
Right.
What I've been doing lately is buying tickets under an alias so you don't know I'm coming.
Okay.
It's a surprise. Definitely keep it up.
Why do you show up?
You were talking about how you go from Justin Bland to Jay Bland in that process.
There's a big difference between the two. Justin is, like, I stay to myself a lot. I like to cook. I like to read. I like to go on walks. It's just like Jay Bland, me to turn up and I'm the one getting the party started. I'm the one that's making everybody laugh. But I think that in whatever you're doing in your life, whatever your passion is, whatever your artistry is, I think that it's important that you set boundaries, because after a while I realized that I didn't need a break from the show. The show is my passion. I needed a break from people overstepping boundaries. I needed a break from people not seeing me as a human and seeing me as a machine. And so I knew it was a thing when, once I got back home from Benson in 2013, I was just trying to find my way as far as like, what is it that I want to do? Because everybody think that, okay, you graduate, you leave school and you figure it out just instantly. And that wasn't the case for me. It was just like, I spent about 5 years just basically just trying to help people out and just stay in that mode of creativity. And I went to an open mic, and it was that piece open mic. And a situation that happened where they had a hosting spot available. And usually I'm not the one to put myself out there, but I seen the open mic and I was just like, no, this is dope. I want to be a part. And my brother Percy was just like, hit up Mariah. She's cool people. Like, hit her up. Hosting with Mariah and being in that piece and being in that arc space, people in the city was starting to figure out, okay, who is this guy? Okay, Jay Bland. Okay, this is dope. This is dope. And I remember one time I was at Walmart and it was like 2 a.m. and I'm in there just trying to do some shopping, grab some stuff, and then somebody seen me from the open mic and was just like, oh, Jay Bland, what's up? What's up? And I was like, oh, what's up? What's up? Man, I ain't expect to see you here. What's up? And I was like, what's up? And they was just like, and I was looking at them like, hey. And it was almost like, when are you gonna turn the funny on? And I was just like, I'm shopping. Like, you want me to do a stand-up set right here? Like, I'm shopping. Like, right now, I'm Justin. Like, I'm not Jay Bland. That's what that made me realize that, oh, you're going to have to separate the two. And if you're not a person who's vulnerable to let people know, like, hey, I need my space, people will just treat you like a machine. But people treat me like Jay Bland made man. They treat me like a machine. But like Justin, when I start putting my guard up and people start to realize that, oh, he's human. Oh, he needs some time away from this, or he needs some space. That's when I think people start to, take me a little bit more serious and are more appreciative when I can have that on and off switch. And then when I went through a very hard depression in the end of 2023, that right there showed me that if you don't take time for yourself and you don't really allow yourself to feel these things that you feel, even though you can't explain them, people are not going to care whatsoever. A lot of times people say, oh, well, talk to Feasible about it and say something to somebody when you're going through depression. And I did. And when I did, it felt like it backfired. It felt like everybody was just like, oh, the show must go on. And it was hard. It was tough. Even people who was in my circle was just kind of giving me that energy of the show must go on. And what if I died? Like, does the show still go on? Like, he kind of had a moment of just thinking. And that right there showed me that, and I know people didn't mean no harm, but that right there showed me that you got to take care of yourself first. And I made a vow to myself. I know times is going to be hard, but I made a vow to myself that I'm not going through that again. And I realized by me going through that, it was because I know a lot of times people go through things or people see people go through it and they say, I'm going to make sure that don't happen to you, or I'm going to make sure I protect you from that. But I feel like I went through my depression and it got as dark as it did is because there were going to be other people around me who are eventually going to go through a depression similar. Depression is always a tricky thing because I think it's just so invisible. It's just like you can't put your hands on it. I don't know where it's coming from. I just know that I don't feel like myself. And I vividly remember coming to talk to my mom about something. We just having a regular conversation. And again, I'm just not trying to wear it. And I knew for sure every time I leave the house, I hug my mom. But I was just like, I'm not hugging her today. Because if I hug her, I'm going to break down. And I remember, all right, Mom, I'm out of here. And I walked down the steps and I was about to go out and I had my keys and I got in the car and I was like, forgot my phone. So when I went back upstairs to get my phone, she had said something like, you okay, you good? And I was like, yeah, fine. Sure, I just give me a hug. I was like, oh, here it is. Here it is. So she hugged me and I just broke. And immediately she started praying for me. Like immediately she started praying for me. And I'm just crying because I really don't know what's going on. I know I'm not in my right state of mind, but I don't know what's going on. And she's just praying for me. And I remember in that prayer, like if I could be very honest, I remember in that prayer, like hearing her talk about like Lord protecting from suicidal thoughts. And then I kind of started getting like, what? Suicidal thoughts? Like what do you? And I remember just like getting offended just a little bit because here it is this is my saving grace. This is my hero. This is my angel. And she's saying stuff like protecting from suicidal thoughts. Like what? And I didn't realize that, first of all, your mother knows. Like your mother knows. And I remember being in a space, I tell people all the time that I didn't have a suicidal thought, but I can vividly remember being in a space where it was just like, I understand why people I remember being in a space where I understood. I said, I understand why people take that route. And like I said, I didn't have a suicidal thought, but I understood it. I'm not as strong as I thought I was, so I need you to guide me through this. And even through the depression, I'd start talking to God on another level that I'd never experienced. And it was just more so just like, man, keep me through the storm. And the more that I would just focus on taking minute by minute, moment by moment, because some days 24 hours feels like a lifetime. when you waiting on the sun to come up just to be like, man, I just want the sun to come out so I could just see a little sunshine. And then that sunshine ain't hitting no more. It's literally just like the brightest, sunniest day, and you still just in your dark room going through this depression. So, man, I learned a lot about myself through it. One, I learned that on one hand, it's like, dang, I'm not as strong as I thought I was. So I was given the strength to kind of endure that. And then it was like, man, if I can get through that, if I can get through that, you know, that swimming and that pressure and all that stuff, I can literally get through anything. So any dream that I have, any dream that I had that felt like it was out of reach, like at the end of the day, my ultimate goal is to leave an impact on people. So if I'm nobody else, I'm doing it for little Justin. If nobody else, I'm doing this for future Justin. And that alone is gonna have the most positive effect on anybody who's able to be in the presence. So
you try to make time to just like rest and just find some type of peace, whatever peace look like to you. And for me, I love bodies of water. I just like coming out here. It's peaceful. I'm still like locked in with my kid-like imagination. I feel like that's what keeps me going. I feel like that's what keeps the dream going. So by me, you know, coming out here just to read a book or just to check my social media or just be present. Like I don't have no obligations when I come out here. I feel like anytime I'm doing anything else, it's like I have to be on point. I have to be consistent. But when I come out here, it's like I don't have to be anything. I can get away from all that. And it's important that I do it the day after, because when Monday roll around, it's kind of just like we back on the clock.
How do you decipher rather when to do things like this and be alone, and when you want to be with the closest people around you?
Your body, whatever that means, your body is going to tell you how you feel. Your body, when you wake up, your body is going to tell you what you need. It's going to tell you what you hunger for. It's going to tell you what you lack. When I wake up the day after the show, I'm going right back to bed. Oh, thank God I woke up, but about to go right back to sleep. You have to make time for yourself. But this legit is my spot. Like I remember like literally sitting over there on the bricks looking at the water crying because I was going through depression. And I remember having the idea for the Made Man show over there as well, sitting in my car and just coming out here looking at the water. When you start to create a safe haven or a spot like that for yourself, you start to be a little bit mindful and a little bit more intentional on who you allow to come out there. But when I choose to come out here, some days I might have some friends come walk with me, but most days when I'm out here, it's just I love being out here by myself. I think it's just refreshing to listen to just this. And then when you think about it, you think about everything that's going on in life, and you think about everything that's going on in our communities. You think about what you're trying to do to make an impact on the community. It can get overwhelming at times, but when you come out here and you just, nobody asks me for no ticket. Nobody asks me for, can you do this? Can you do that? Nobody throwing out no suggestions. Nobody's mad at me about nothing. I'm just out here just being. Like that's literally it. No wait, no nothing. Sometimes I put my phone on do not disturb. Sometimes I won't, but I come out here, I just move on to the beat of my own drum. And most of the time that's just stillness. That's just me just being out here.